Welcome to today's Instant Pot cooking with Jumbo Electronics. So we are going live from Instagram here and from Facebook here. And this is the first time I'm doing 2 live sessions at once. So we'll be taking questions from everywhere. And if there's a little bit of technical errors, then just excuse us for this session. Okay, so we'll just wait for a few more people to join in and then we can begin. Hi everyone, nice to see you all as well. Thank you all for joining. I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy and you all are doing well. So good to see you all. If there's any questions, then just read them out because I won't be able to see that. So yeah. Has any of you used the Instant Pot ever? Has any of you have any of you used the Instant Pot? Hi everyone. I'm so glad you all are here. And also, I just need to know if you all can hear me and see me clearly. So both on Instagram and on Facebook, just put a thumbs up or just write something saying that you can hear me and you can see me and everything is okay. Yeah? Is the audio fine? The video okay? Thank you. Okay, yes, it's clear on Instagram. I'm getting the green signal that it's clear. What about Facebook?
Yes, Chef, we have people saying it's perfect.
It's perfect? Okay, excellent. Very nice. Okay, I think we can begin. We have quite a few people here. So welcome everyone. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading everyone's comments. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we are here to do a quick interesting cooking session with the Instant Pot and with Jumbo Electronics. A little bit about the Instant Pot before we begin. So the Instant Pot is basically an electric pressure cooker and it's America's #1 pressure cooker. And the best part about this is it is the safest pressure cooker. Now other pressure cookers generally not 100% safe, but this one has an it has an automatic lock system where you cannot open the Instant Pot lid unless all the pressure is completely released. So this is very, very safe. And also interestingly, the Instant Pot is known as the single spot because it makes single people's life really easy. And the reason being that the Instant Pot really replaces everything on your stovetop. If you don't have a cooking range or a stovetop, you can survive with just the Instant Pot. You can saute, you can shallow fry, you can pressure cook, you can steam, you can boil, you can make rice, you can make oats and porridge, you can make stews, you can make soup, you can do sous vide. Now sous vide is a very complicated, not exactly very complicated, but it's a method of cooking that's usually used in big restaurants, Michelin-starred restaurants, and that is something that the Instant Pot has. It has a sous vide function, so you can cook using the sous vide method at home, which is really, really helpful. It has tons of other amazing functions, and we will go over them as we go with today's demo. But the first thing, let's first begin with our recipe. Today, let me tell you what I'm making. We are making an Indian dessert, which is very similar to a kheer or a milk pudding. It's bottle gourd or lauki and pistachio milk pudding. Very simple, and it's simple because the Instant Pot makes it simple. If you were to make this on the stovetop, it would take you easily 30, 40, 45 minutes because you'd have to keep standing and stirring and watching the milk not boil over. And there's so many things to take care of, all of which the Instant Pot will eliminate in just 1 or 2 steps. Okay?
Chef, could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We have a question from Mr. Sumit. He's saying how much is the price of this?
The price, so it depends on the models. You can visit Jumbo Electronics. They have all the options of whatever models are available with the price list. So I'm sure you will find all the pricing there. Yeah? Okay, so let's start. So the first thing I'm going to do is, before we get to this, let me move you all over to here, and I'm just going to make the pistachio milk. Very, very simple. Here I have some pistachios. Now this is blanched, so what I did is I put the pistachios in hot water and just gave them a single boil, and then rinse them with cold water and remove the skins. And what this does is it just brings out a really nice green color of the pistachios, which otherwise is covered with a brownish skin. So if you just grind them raw, they won't have the same flavor and the same color. So that's why blanched pistachios. I'm just going to add those into a blender jar. And to this, I'm going to add some rice flour. And this is just to give a nice pudding-like consistency to your dessert. You don't want to add too much. About a tablespoon is good enough. Okay. And then I'm going to add in the milk. Use full cream milk, but you can use low fat or skimmed, whatever you like. I'm using full fat milk. Okay, and give this all a good blend. Okay. This is done. So that's our pistachio milk that we're going to use to make our milk pudding. And someone's asking what brand of milk is used. This is just normal Almarai milk. Any milk works, doesn't really matter. It's just full fat. Okay, back to the Instant Pot. Now what we're going to do is the first step is we're going to cook our bottle gourd. Now this is a bottle gourd rice pudding. So here I have some bottle gourd, or you can call it lauki in Hindi, and we're going to cook this in a little bit of ghee first. That's the first step. And instead, now because it's summertime, we're using lauki because it's a chilled, refreshing milk pudding. If you're doing this in the winter, you can do it with carrots, you can even do it with beetroot. Lots of different options you can make this milk pudding with. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to saute this. Now, like I said, the Instant Pot replaces multiple appliances or multiple pots and pans, and a lot of it really saves you from having a lot of dishes and a lot of cleanup. So we're going to saute in the same pot, and then we're going to cook the entire kheer in the same pot. Okay, so we're going over to, I don't know if you all can see, let me bring this a little closer. So this is the panel, or the is it visible? I don't think it is. Okay, so here on the bottom there's a saute function. I'm going to click saute, and it reads 5 minutes, which is perfect. Now if I want to saute on low heat, I can move this around. So there's less, there is normal, and then there is more. But I'm just going to do it on normal heat right now, and 5 minutes is enough. If I feel I need to saute for 10 minutes, I can just increase the timing here. So after 10 minutes, it will stop by itself. Okay, but I think let's keep it for 6 minutes. I think it will take about 6 minutes. And if I feel 6 minutes is too much, I can always cancel halfway through. Okay, so as soon as you turn this on saute, you will hear the 3 beeps. And when you hear the 3 beeps, you know your Instant Pot is on and it's starting to heat up, and you can begin cooking. Okay, so first thing I'm going to add in is a bit of ghee, just about a teaspoon. Okay, and we're just going to let this melt. Let me bring this a little closer so maybe you all can take a look at what's going on inside the pot. Yeah, okay. So once the ghee begins to melt, we're going to add in the bottle gourd. You see the ghee is melting, the pot's heating up. Once the ghee is melted, let's add in your peeled and grated bottle gourd, lauki, dudhi, all the different names to this. Okay. And you just want to saute this until it's about 50% cooked through. The remaining 50% it will cook with the milk as it boils. Okay. Now if you were to use carrots or beetroot, it would be the same exact method where you heat the ghee, you add in your shredded carrot or your shredded beetroot and proceed the same way. If you did it with beetroot, it will have a really beautiful pink color. I will be posting the complete recipe to this with the measurements towards the end of the session. And one of the great things about the Instant Pot is that, like you all know, it replaces all the cooking that you do on the stove top. But what's even more interesting is that it saves 70% of the time that you require to cook a dish, because the Instant Pot cooks the food 70% faster, and it still keeps all the nutritional facts, the nutritional value of the food intact. The vitamins, minerals, everything stay intact. It's a really quick, easy, healthy form of cooking. I totally love my Instant Pot. I don't think there's a single day that goes without using this. Our daily cooking happens in this. Ever since we've had the Instant Pot, we've pretty much stopped, cooking on the stove. A lot of the cooking that happens on the stove now happens in this. So much quicker, so much easier. What's really cool also is that if you're working and if you want dinner ready when you come home from work, this has a delay start function. So what you do is you put in your rice, you put in your lentils, you can even layer it by putting a rack, you can layer 2 containers, one on top of the other, put water on the sides, shut the lid, click the delay start and set your time. So if you're coming home at 6:30 p.m. and you want to eat by 7 p.m., you can set the timer here in the panel accordingly. So this smart pot will start and cook the food at the given time, at the set time. So that way when you come home, your dinner will be 100% ready and it'll still be hot. You don't need to reheat your food. It has a keep warm function as well. So if you want to serve something warm, you can cook the food, keep the keep warm on, and your food will remain warm until you're ready to eat. So many amazing benefits to this pot that you wouldn't have otherwise. Our personal favorite appliance in our kitchen. Also, there's an Instant Pot community on Facebook which has 3 million genuine users. So it's not a group created by Instant Pot. It is a group created by genuine users of Instant Pot. It's a very organic group. People just discuss recipes, they share their experiences. If they've tried a new recipe in the Instant Pot, they just share it there. So it's a really great place. If you have the Instant Pot, you must be a part of this Instant Pot community, because every day you get so many different ideas of everyone worldwide sharing their experiences. Okay, so this has started to cook. It's looking good. You want to come up close and show them what it looks like? Hardly takes a couple of minutes, not too long at all. Okay, I feel that this is almost done, so I'm just going to click cancel and stop the cooking here. And now I'm going to add in this pistachio milk that we prepared with the little bit of rice flour. And look at that nice green color from the pistachios. Nice and natural. Okay. So once you've added in the pistachio milk, just give it a good stir. And then we're going to add in the rest of the ingredients. It's very, very easy. It's basically dump in a pot, cook, and you're done. Let's add in the sugar first. So I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of sugar, but before that, let me add in the rest of the milk. Okay. And then we add in sugar. Now if you want to make this sugar-free, you can add in maple syrup, honey, or anything like stevia, any sugar replacement that you want. Okay, and now we're going to add in some flavoring. Very, very simple flavoring that's going to go so well with the pistachio and the bottle gourd. First, I'll add in some rose water. About 1/2 teaspoon. You can add more or less according to your preference. And I'm also going to add in some cardamom. Again, to your taste, as much or as little as you like. And this is optional. I'm adding only a drop of pistachio extract. This is just for an extra pista flavor. You don't need to add it. There's enough pistachios for a nice natural flavor as well, but this just adds an extra pump of flavor. I'm literally only adding a drop. That's it. Just 1 drop. It's more than enough. Give it a good mix. And typically, if you were to make this on a stovetop, you would have to stand and keep stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring for a good 30, 35, 40 minutes until the milk thickened and reduced. Now, there's a couple of things that would tend to happen on the stovetop. The milk would stick to the bottom if you didn't stir it continuously. Also, if you all have noticed, if you're standing right there, nothing will happen. But the second you leave your milk and you walk away for even 10 seconds, the milk will boil over and it will completely dirty your stovetop and the cleanup and everything. So one great thing about this is you don't have to worry about the milk boiling over. You don't have to worry about stirring, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to shut the lid and set it here, and the milk is going to boil and reduce and thicken by itself without you having to stir, without you having to stand next to it, without wasting any time. And it would be done in 10 to 15 minutes.
Chef, is it okay if you can use the AirPods?
I am using them.
Oh, you are already using them?
Yes.
Okay, because they say not audible from when you started adding ingredients into the milk. So maybe if you can repeat for our
Yes, sure.
viewers.
Okay, I think there is no complaint on Instagram, but from Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me quickly go over the process that we have done so far. What we did is we clicked the saute function on our Instant Pot. Okay, louder?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we clicked the saute function on our Instant Pot, set it to 5 or 6 minutes on normal heat, and then I added a teaspoon of ghee into the pot. Once it melted, I added in our bottle gourd or lauki that was grated using a large grater. I added that and I just cooked it for maybe 3 minutes, just until I felt like the bottle gourd was slightly cooked. And then I added in the pistachio milk. Now the pistachio milk, I just blended together some blanched pistachio, full cream milk, and a little bit of rice flour just to help the milk thicken. That's it. So I added that milk in here and I just stirred it, and then I added in some flavorings like rose water, just a drop of pistachio extract, and some cardamom. That's it. Very, very simple, basic ingredients, and that's all. and that's it. I've literally not done anything after that. Yeah. Now, if you don't want to add rice flour, you don't have to. You can just cook this for an additional 5 or 6 minutes and the milk will thicken by itself without the addition of rice flour. I just like to add a little bit of rice flour to give it like a pudding-like texture, but it's optional. You don't have to add it, right? Okay.
Well, the viewers from Facebook, they say they cannot hear.
They cannot
They
hear.
can't understand anything, no audio. It just happened after you started adding.
Is it still like that?
They say don't know, no audio.
What can we do?
Audio is not clear in Facebook.
Should I try without the AirPods?
Maybe.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so we've disconnected our AirPods. Is it better? Can someone give us a feedback? Yes? Is it better or no? Is it audible? Is my voice okay? There's no complaint from Instagram. Instagram Live is just going perfect, but we also doing a Facebook Live simultaneously. So I think there is a little bit of complaint from Facebook, and I think this has been an ongoing issue with the sound with Facebook for some reason. I'm not too sure why.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So I guess the headphones weren't doing any good. Okay, so
Sorry, chef, it's 50-50. Like some people can hear, some people cannot hear.
so if there are some people who cannot hear, they may just have to turn their phone volume up or their laptop volume higher so they can hear. But audible on Insta, everyone is saying it's completely fine on Instagram. Okay, it's fine? Okay, now let's do one thing. This is done. Like I said, we pretty much put all our flavorings and ingredients in this. Now I'm going to close the lid and I'm going to press the, can you all see? I'm going to press the porridge and the oatmeal function right there. I'm going to set it. Now again, you can select whether you want it high pressure, normal pressure, low pressure. You can select the pressure level. I don't know if you all can see. Let me try and no. Okay, I'll do this again. Okay, so you can select your pressure level, but for this recipe I'm just going to keep it low pressure because I'm not trying to pressure cook anything. So low pressure is fine, and the heat level can also be less, more, or normal. I'm just going to keep it normal heat, low pressure for 10 minutes, and that's it. And once you hear the 3 beeps, it'll start. That's it. Okay, so now 10 minutes later, now you also had, there is a keep warm function. Now this is a dessert that I'm going to serve cold, so I'm going to turn the keep warm off. Were you to cook any lentils or anything that you're going to serve hot, then you can keep the keep warm function on, so that way your food stays nice and warm and you don't have to constantly reheat it, because reheating your food is also not good. You lose a lot of the nutritional value in the food when you constantly keep reheating it. So that's it. We just have to wait for 10 minutes now, and after 10 minutes I'm just going to show you the 2 different ways of releasing the steam. One is quick release, where I'm going to press this button and the steam will release by itself. The second is natural release, where you just leave this alone for 10 minutes and the steam will release by itself. So that's the 2 different ways, and whenever you're in a rush, you can just press this button right here on the top. There is a button right here. If you press this, this comes up and the steam will release much quicker, like instantly. And until and unless the steam is not completely released, this keeps itself locked, seriously locked. There's no way you can open it, which is why this is 100% safer than any other conventional traditional pressure cooker. So yeah, this is it. Now we can take a few questions if anyone has any. No questions? Yeah, this is such a simple recipe. There cannot be any questions. So the Instant Pot, it comes in various different models. There is the Duo and the Duo Plus, and this is for all those who are interested in knowing more about the product. So the Duo Plus has 3 extra functions that the Duo doesn't have. Otherwise, everything is the same. So there are 3 functions. One is cake, one is sterilize, and one is sous vide. So those are the 3 additional functions you get in Duo Plus. This is the Duo Plus, so it has all the functions. But the Duo has, 3 lesser functions, but everything else pretty much remains the same. So yeah. And I do a lot of, those who have been following me on Instagram, I've been doing quite a few recipes using the Instant Pot, where you heat oil, you put your cumin seeds, your mustard seeds, you can do your tadka, then you add uncooked dal, add water, shut the lid, pressure cook, and your food is ready. So many easy recipes. You can do biryani in this. You can even okay, someone's saying that they tried a bunch of my recipes and they're very happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Also, rice gets done very perfectly. Rice is a very simple dish, very simple thing. You don't even need to soak. You just put rice and water, put it in this. You can even stack your rice and your dal in two containers, one on top of the other, so you can cook 2 things at once in this. So many dishes, all our daily Indian food we cook in this, especially these rice puddings. There's things like dudh pak, which is a traditional thickened milk, which takes so long to make on the stovetop, and you literally have to stand by it for 1 hour stirring, and I just have to be so patient. Even things like kheer, where you first have to saute the rice, then you have to add the milk, and then once the rice cooks, then you add the sugar. It's a process. It's easy, but it's a process. In this, I saute the rice hardly for 30 seconds in ghee, add the milk, add the sugar, add the cardamom, add the seasonings, and let it do its thing. And I have perfect, nice, thick, creamy kheer ready in no time. So when you have people coming over, there is nothing like this, where you can really just put up such an amazing dish in no time. So yeah. Thank you all for joining. A lot of questions about the cost of this product, and it starts at $4.99. Someone here was asking as well. $4.99 is the starting, and like I said, there are different models. There is Duo and Duo Plus, and there are different sizes too. So there is 6 quart or 6 liters, and there's 8 liters. So the pot inside, that's the the capacity is different for different models. This one is a 6 liter, and it's perfect for a family of 4. I think even a family of up to 6 people, this is the ideal size. But if you have a larger family, then the 8 quart is probably what you would want to go for. And also cleanup. Let me quickly tell you about the cleanup. Very simple. You don't have to worry with this outside. The body of this, you can just wipe it with a damp towel. But the inside pot, once we're done cooking, I'll lift it and I'll show you. That is just one single pot, very easy to wash, just with normal soap and water like you wash any other dishes. You can even put it in the dishwasher and make your life even easier. And yeah, so cleanup is very simple as well. Thank you. Yes, I do only vegetarian recipes, and whoever is vegetarian probably enjoys whatever I post. Here on Facebook, I also post recipes, but I do a lot of live stories on Instagram. So those of you who are not following me on Instagram, you can. I'm at THEVEGGIEFIX, the Veggie Fix, and it's all vegetarian cooking and baking. So yeah, just follow me on Instagram for more recipes. And those on Instagram, I also post a lot on Facebook, so follow me on Facebook at my first and last name, NIKITAGANDHI. Yes, I need to post more recipes with the Instant Pot. I do need to post more recipes, and I will. I have in fact posted quite a few recipes using the Instant Pot in the past. I have done a really nice one pot chole. I've done black urad dal, similar to a dal makhani. I have done a couple of desserts using the Instant Pot. I've done a couple of soups, quite a few recipes I've done using the Instant Pot. But whether I post videos or not, this is something I use every single day in my daily cooking. If I need to steam something, there's a steam function here. I just take a colander, I put my vegetables in it, put some water, put the colander inside, and click steam. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and it gets done. Pav bhaji as well can be done in this very, very easily. So many recipes, so many. Basically, Indian households use a pressure cooker every single day, and once you have this, you will never. I don't even know where my pressure cooker is, to be honest. We don't know where it's kept. It's just gone somewhere inside. Because ever since we've had the Instant Pot, we have not even taken our pressure cooker out of the cabinet. We've not used it at all. So yeah. Video of veg macarons. You know, so macarons is something I am yet to practice and perfect myself, the vegan macarons. So once I do it, I will post a video and a recipe for it. Is there any other questions regarding the Instant Pot? Anything else anyone would like to know? Brownie recipe, okay, noted. We will work on that. I'm so glad to hear that. Someone's saying that I've made their life easier with my recipes in the lockdown. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. I'm glad it made life easy with deciding what to cook every day. Yes.
Yeah, so viewers are asking, is the pudding ready yet?
Is the pudding ready? I know you all are, so there's 7 more minutes. So usually 10 minutes feels so short when your alarm goes on snooze. 10 minutes are over in 10 seconds. But when you have to wait for 10 minutes for dessert to get done, it feels like ages. It feels like 10 hours, right? So 7 more minutes, and I think now 6 more minutes. Yeah, 6 more minutes and it should be ready. So this dessert is going to be served cold. So what I'm going to do is, once it's done, you can I accidentally press the steam. Yeah. So once this is done, you transfer it out into a bowl and put it in the fridge and chill it completely. Now this is a summer dessert, so you're supposed to enjoy it really, really chilled. But you can have it warm as well if you prefer it warm. But usually I think desserts like this, puddings and milk-based stuff, is better cold. So I do have some prepared that's already been chilled. So I will show you that, but once this is done, I will. Do you ever have dreams of your Masterchef days and that you are running out of time to make a dish? That's a very, very good question. I have actually never had a dream like that. Because I don't know, thankfully I was always able to finish my dishes in time, so I never, I have not had a dream like that, but that would be a very interesting dream to have. I would like to have a dream like that. That would be a very nostalgic dream. The air fryer, no, it's not available in India as yet, but it will be. Any other questions? No one has any questions? I'm sure everyone's gonna make this make this dish in so little time. Also, if you all are interested to see, there's a YouTube channel, an Instant Pot YouTube channel where there's thousands of Instant Pot recipes, and yeah, you all can take a look at it. Thank you to those. Yes, I do remember that there was one task in MasterChef where I was making something very similar. I was making a rice kheer, and we were making it in bulk. We were making it in Global Village, and making this kheer, actually someone here commented, but actually this kheer does remind me of that day where I was making it in bulk. I think it was around 8 liters of milk, and I added in salt instead of sugar, and and I was freaking out because it was a pair task, and I was worried that my partner would be in trouble because of my mistake. And because salt and sugar, they look the same. They look the same, and when you're in a rush, you don't really, there was no labeling on it, there was nothing. So I literally took the bag of salt and I took out a couple of cups and I added it into the milk, and then we tasted it and it was salty. It's like, why is it salty? And then I figured I added salt instead of sugar. So yeah, but today I've not made that mistake. I know this is sugar, I've not added any salt. Yes, I will be uploading this recipe on my highlights for sure. For any of you who may have missed this session, I will definitely be posting a written recipe with measurements. And yeah, it will be on the highlights. How many minutes more? 2 more minutes. Okay, that's it. 2 more minutes, and then I want to show you how you can release the steam really easily, like do the quick release in this. If you're not using the Instant Pot, you just need to slow boil it, yes, like you would do for any other kheer or any other, Dudh Pak Basundi, any milk-based recipe where you would just keep it on low flame and you have to keep stirring it. You would have to do that. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way. And don't add the sugar in the beginning because the bottle gourd won't cook easily then. You would first have to let the bottle gourd cook and the milk to reduce completely, and then add the sugar in the end. So yeah, you can make it if you're okay to spend 1 hour versus 15 minutes. So yeah.
So we have a comment from our viewer.
Okay.
She's saying, thank you so much for showing live. You're excellent chef. I have had a chance to work with you 2 years back. Rashmi Govindan.
Hi Rashmi. Thank you so much for joining in today. And yes, it was indeed a pleasure working with you. Thank you. Is there any other questions anyone has? Feel free to ask. Once this is done, there's not going to be any room for questions because we're going to move with our recipe. But we're almost done, so there's not much we're going to do after this, but still. A lot of my friends are here. A lot of my Instant Pot friends are here as well. And it's so good to see everyone. And I hope you all make this recipe and tag me when you do. This is it's a very special recipe. This is something that my mom taught me. Okay, it's done. Okay, so once your Instant Pot beeps and it says end, you know that it's done. So at this point, what you can do is first you can, to be safe, turn off the switch. I'm just gonna turn off the switch. Okay, shut your Instant Pot. Now there's 2 options. If you're not in a rush, you just let this be for about 10 minutes and the steam will release by itself. And you don't have to do anything. Once the steam releases, you'll be able to open. At this point, because there is steam in there, there's pressure, I'm not able to open it. Like, no matter how hard you try, this thing is locked, which is why this makes it really safe. And by the way, even if you have kids who want to cook, it's safer for them to cook in the Instant Pot than on the stove because this locks itself, so there's no chances of any kind of accidents happening. Okay, so you let it release, and then when you turn this, it will open automatically. It will unlock itself and it will open automatically. But now, because we don't want to wait for another 10 minutes, I'm going to quick release. So what I'm going to do is this button right here. I'm just going to press it and release the steam. once all the steam is released, this will unlock on its own. And that's it. And you see how quick that was? So if you're in a rush, you don't have to wait for 10 minutes. You just press this one button, and this is the quick release function, which is one of the best functions of the Instant Pot. It really helps save time. And that's it. That's it. All the steam is out. And see, you can open it now very easily. And just look at this. It's boiling really nicely on the inside. And let me give it a mix. All okay? Yeah. Looks nice. Yeah? And that's it. So our milk pudding is ready, and like I said, this needs to be served hot. Sorry, cold. Not hot. This needs to be served cold. So you're just going to let this. Now, when I was telling you about the pot, this is what might be a little hot. Let me wear my gloves and lift it. You see, this is the pot I was talking about. So this is what can go in the dishwasher, and this is all you need to wash and clean. That's it. Okay, so this, once it cools slightly, you can put it in the fridge and chill it completely, and it will thicken further. As you can see, it's already become really nice and thick, like a pudding-like consistency, but it will set further in the fridge. And for now, I already have one batch that is nice and chilled that I've prepared. So let me show you that. Let me move this away. There. This is the one that's been completely chilled. As you can see, I just want to show you the consistency. It's perfect, nice and thick and creamy. So let's pour it into our serving bowls and garnish it. What else? What was the best dish? Oh, what was the best dish made in Masterchef? I think someone else would be a better judge of what the best dish was rather than me deciding what the best dish was. But I think one of my favorite dishes would be the white chocolate ghari that I made in one of my tasks. Okay, so now I'm just going to garnish this with some rose petals. So I have some dried rose petals. Now rose and pistachio, match made in heaven, goes so well, and as I added a little bit of rose water in this, I'm going to just sprinkle a bit of the rose petals. Okay. And some sliced pistachio. I'm just trying to read if there's any questions coming through, and that's it. Very simple Indian summer dessert. Bottle Gourd Pistachio Milk Pudding is all ready in under 15 minutes, minus the cooling time, of course. But yeah, it's ready to serve. You can enjoy this by itself. Traditionally, we sometimes enjoy it with some puri or flat bread that's been fried. We dip it together and we eat it. Not something that everyone likes to do, but this is how we Gujaratis do it. So yeah, this is it. If there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. If there's anyone who's interested to purchase the Instant Pot, then you can do so at Jumbo Electronics, and they have all the different models with the different prices and all the information, so feel free to get in touch with them.
Oh, viewer Grishma Nayak, she's saying lovely dessert.
Yeah, very, very easy, very quick, and like I said, cooling for the body. It has rose, it has bottle gourd, cooling ingredients, very good for you. Yeah, and like I said, you can replace the sugar with honey, with maple syrup, with any natural form of sugar, and maybe the color would change a little bit if you used natural sugar, but otherwise, bottle gourd has a little bit of its own sweetness too. So you can totally reduce the amount of sugar as well if you want to make this healthier. Yes, yes, my mom says it's very nice with puri. Yes, it is. Like I said, we Gujaratis dip puri and eat this for a meal, and it's wonderful. Any more questions? Anyone has any more questions? This is our Instant Pot, my best friend in the kitchen. There's not a day I can go without this little buddy here. I love it. I absolutely love it. My favorite kitchen toy. I have a lot of favorite kitchen toys, but this is definitely on the top list. Anyone would like to know anything? No? So that's it. I believe jaggery, yes. Someone asks if they can add jaggery in this. You can. I'm not 100% sure of the taste. It wouldn't probably, if you don't mind the taste of jaggery in this, you can definitely add it. But not something that would typically go with the rose and, the other ingredients in this. But you can definitely give it a try. And if you want to strictly avoid white sugar, then you can totally enjoy this with jaggery. Yeah. Idli in the Instant Pot, yes, you can. This has a steam function as well, so you can totally make dhokla, idli, khaman, any of those steamed dishes in this very easily. If you have missed the recipe, I will be posting a recording of this live session to my IGTV, and I will also be posting the complete written recipe to my page, The Veggie Fix, on Instagram, and I'll also be posting it on Facebook. But I constantly post recipes almost every day or every alternate day on Instagram, so follow me there if you'd like to know more vegetarian recipes. And yes, I think someone's asking about the size. This comes in 6 liters and 8 liters. This one I have right here is 6 liters, and it's perfect for a family of 4 to 6. Share a recipe of cake done in Instant Pot. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Yes, the Instant Pot has a cake function as well. So if you don't have an oven, you can still bake in this. Thank you all so much who have loved this recipe and who've been writing really nice comments here. I really appreciate, and I totally enjoyed cooking with Instant Pot, as I do every single day anyways in my kitchen. I was glad to share this recipe with everyone with the Instant Pot. Thank you so much, Jumbo Electronics, as well, for making this happen. And for all those of you interested, you can contact them, visit the nearest store or their online store, and you can purchase an Instant Pot like this for yourself. I will keep it on my highlights. Yes. Okay, I think this is it. Thank you all so much for joining once again. You all have a nice day. Stay home and stay safe. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.